Thank you, Honorable Toastmaster. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters. Thank you, friends. My name is Brett Colombo. I'm fairly new to Toastmasters, and I looked into what it is to do an icebreaker for the group. Fairly short speech, should be focused on either a little bit about yourself or why you're here. Talking about yourself for 4 to 6 minutes seemed a little constraining, so I thought let's delve into why I'm here, and that'll amplify everything else a little bit. So I'm not a stranger to public speaking. In fact, around 20 years ago, I was doing postgraduate work with Moscow Art Theater School and Harvard University for acting.
Wow.
I absolutely loved it. It was my passion. I learned quite a bit. I went into the field. That's how I made my way out here to Los Angeles. And I immersed myself in that field for around 10 years. I did stage, commercial, small film roles, and every little bit of it was a learning experience. It was passion. I loved it. However, I was not making ends meet, and I fell in love with something else, and that would be my future wife. And I decided perhaps it's time for a transition. So I went, well, what else do I enjoy? And not to sound like too much of a lush, but I'm a whiskey aficionado, and I regularly did whiskey tastings for my friends. So I thought, okay, maybe something within the liquor business, and I did that for some time, but I didn't feel passionate about it, because at the end of the day, I said, this is an interest, I enjoy this, but I'm kind of also selling poison to people, and I want to do something that's a little bit more meaningful to me. Around the same time, I had a very good friend, and he passed away extremely suddenly. He was hit by a car, and this was during the beginning of COVID, and it was completely unexpected. He had a relatively new wife like myself. He had a child that was very young like myself, and he was completely unprepared because it was something that wasn't even on his radar. She reached out to me, and I hadn't been in a position where I'd ever helped anyone in that area before, and I didn't know much about it. I just so happened to live 2 blocks away from a cemetery in Monrovia. So I said to her, well, let me see if I can find out more while she was going through her own journey. So I went down there and I started talking with them. And they taught me a lot immediately off the bat. And I saw the way that they really reached out and helped people that were in some of the most difficult times of their lives, and how much it meant to the people that they were helping. So I started a new career there within a couple weeks. And I really loved that, but then that darn empathy thing kicked in from acting, which is one of the things I love so much about it, was you put yourself in someone else's shoes. And not just that, but you try and see the world how they see it. And when you sit down with people that are going through the worst time of their life, they've lost somebody that they love, they're not prepared for it, you really feel for them. So when I was having those sit-down meetings, I found myself, crying with the people that are going through that, and really you want to stay strong and support them through their journey. So I said to myself, okay, this is meaningful, but I think I need to transition into something where I'm helping people before they get to the stage. I said, what is that? And that, for me, was New York Life. So then I'm talking to people about planning and making sure that they have something in place, so when those people come in for that meeting, they're not dealing with all of the unknowns, figuring out where money is coming from, and figuring out what they want to do for their loved one, but something's been put in place. So how did I end up here? When I was going through my journey at the beginning of that with New York Life, I thought, okay, well, I want to be able to have discussions in front of people. And I hadn't really done that in some time. And I think seminars are a valuable tool to be able to get a group of people together and discuss what you're doing, why it's valuable, and try and get them to do something before it becomes more difficult. So that's why I'm here. I want to brush up, shake the rust off, get myself in shape as far as speaking with all of you. Thank you so much for having me here. I appreciate you all.